such a sweet sensation. Come on!
From Pasadena, California, it's America's New Year's celebration, the Rose Parade, presented by Honda.
Bring it down!
Welcome, Jordan Fisher.
The whole world's coming together now. Feel it in the air. The wind is taking it everywhere. Can you feel it? It's such a good vibration. It's such a sweet sensation. It's such a good vibration. It's such a sweet sensation. You guys ready? Here she is, 10-time Grammy Award winner and the 2019 Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade, the incomparable Shaka Khan.
Yes, I do. Something about a thing to do, baby, keeps me satisfied. I wouldn't lie to you, baby. It's mainly a spiritual thing. Feeling that I got for you, baby, makes me wanna sing. I feel for you. I think I love you. Before you, I think I love you. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. Johnson Music make me sing.
Bring back joy. Every time I flow to run that smile. Pimp it hot to make some noise. Deliver the music to make worthwhile. Shock the rocket with a fresh one. Yeah, we know you came together round for the fun. Show them how it's done. With your white to keep it on the low. Bring it to a 10 so we all know. Why?
Music make me say goodbye, sadness, hello, happiness. Music it makes me smile and it frees my mind. There ain't no question, no see high. If you're feeling unsure, I got you cured. This beat is yours. This beat is mine. It moves my body and frees my mind. There ain't no question. I'm so it gets me high. Feeling unsure, I got you cured. This music is yours. This beat is mine. Goodbye, sadness, hello, happiness. Music makes me say goodbye, sadness, hello, happiness. Yeah, thank you.
Here with me is Gerald Freeney, the 2019 president for the Tournament of Roses. Gerald, it's all you.
Happy New Year, America! Now, the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda. Let the parade begin!
Take care, man.
Now that is the way to welcome in a new year. Happy 2019, everybody. Hello, and welcome live to Pasadena, California for the 130th Rose Parade. I cannot believe that we are here alongside my co-host, Kevin Agandi. I'm Sage Steele, and of course, we are rookies here, but we are thrilled to be here for our first Rose Bowl parade. Again, we're rookies. Here's the thing. It looks a little bit different, Kevin, from our normal Sports Center set over on ESPN. So thanks to all of our friends at ABC for welcoming us here. A little different.
Well, what a way to start 2019. I mean,
awesome.
And this is a party, a celebration. It's 42 degrees out. The sun is out, though. Pasadena is rocking. And I think this is really a party of the senses, right? The sights, the sounds, the smells. It's like you're walking into a florist. We're going to have this entire experience the next 2 hours. And it's the only place in LA you can drive 2 miles an hour and not hear a horn honk.
Exactly. It's okay here, at least for these 2 hours. Here's the thing. We're getting a huge assist from a man who's he's kind of the mayor of Pasadena.
Yeah.
We call him the expert, the encyclopedia, the historian. He is a former Olympian, John Neighbor, covering his 27th, 28th, at least a quarter of a century of Rose Parades for John Neighbor. He'll be joining us shortly. However, once again, Kevin, what we're about to see, I've heard about this my whole life. Watched on TV. What we're about to see, and you at home, is spectacular, indescribable, really.
And what has really stood out for us, we've experienced a lot of moments on the sports stage. What stands out is the volunteers. There are so many thousands of volunteers here for this event. It's a community event, a celebration of Pasadena.
Yes.
And John is no doubt the unofficial mayor of Pasadena.
And
we'll hear from
those
John.
Volunteers, year-round, starting right here.
And let's get started. The celebration of dreams, kicking off the 130th Rose Parade in America Honda's 60th anniversary, paying tribute to Honda's heritage and its dreams for the future. The 25-foot-tall birthday cake featuring a recreation of the company's first LA storefront. The float is filled with vibrant color and music and video, and screens that share the story of Honda's commitment to community. And surrounding the cake, pretty cool here, Sage, 5 satellites, each dedicated to Honda milestones, including the Honda Super Cub motorcycle, which was the original launch of American Honda. There's also Honda's commitment to the environment with a floral recreation of the 1975 Honda Civic CVCC, the first vehicle to satisfy U.S. Clean Air Act standards with a catalytic converter. There it is. Now, the other satellites, they focus on safety, investment in America, and future dreams on the wings of the Honda Jet. And there are special candles on this celebration cake, guys. 60 members of historically black college and university marching bands that recently took part in the annual Honda Battle of the Bands, a showcase that features the company's ongoing partnership to help students power their own dreams. And we're just starting this parade, making that turn off Orange Grove, a hook and a right, going down Colorado Boulevard for the next 5 miles.
Hello to the Alabama Mighty Marching Hornets from Alabama State University. This is their first appearance in the Rose Parade. And hey, we talk about athletes all the time. You betcha that these young men and women are nervous coming out here in front of the world for the first time ever. But what they do year-round is spectacular, particularly during football season, creating a brand new halftime show for every single home game. Remember, band's a huge part of this. Band's been a part of the Rose Parade since 1891, the second year of the parade. such a huge part of this parade. California represents the military quite well as we welcome the U.S. Marine Corps West Coast Composite Band. They're from all over the state of California, Miramar, San Diego, and Camp Pendleton. They have a history here at the parade, as you see the officers in the stands. 70. This is their 70th appearance here. And again, they come together just once a year to perform on New Year's Day in Pasadena right here. But there's 3 bands, 3 different commands. So that's tough. That's tough to bring it all together for such an important day. But they do it, and they do it well.
The Marine Band leading the way for the most patriotic float in the parade, marking the centennial celebration for the American Legion. And this is their first year in the parade. Dozens of American Legion members helped decorate this float. Every color, texture you see, created with flowers, seeds, grasses, and there's even some coffee and cinnamon there. Gotta remind you too, everything's covered in organic material. No paints or dyes, just the colors provided by nature combined with the creativity of the float builders. How about this? Riding on the float, members of the American Legion, including 4 Medal of Honor recipients. You see the fireworks from the wings? That's fantastic. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. And it's a great way to start here in Pasadena. Happy New Year. Much more from the Rose Parade presented by Honda after this.
A better SUV dares to ask why not. Like, why not versatile? Master of all seasons, all the prizes kind of versatile. Why not turn up the comfort? First class comfort. Why not make it rugged?
Real rugged.
But also smart. And of course, reliable. Friend picking you up at midnight, reliable. And why not end with a big statement? Honda, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Welcome to the Chipotle Free Delivery Bowl. But don't just watch the bowl. Order the bowl, get free delivery on the bowl, then eat that delicious bowl. Order now and get free delivery for a limited time.
I like chillaxin'. The United Explorer card makes things easy. Traveling lighter. Taking a shortcut. Woo! Taking a breather. Rewarded.
Learn more at theexplorercard.com.
Oh no.
What is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh! Hello! Run! Times have changed. We have to be tough and battle ready. Did you draw stubble dots on your face?
What? No.
Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
You're me when I'm late to school and my pants are made of pudding?
No, I don't.
The Lego Movie 2.
You missed me.
No, I did not. This film is not yet rated.
You mind if I steal them real quick? Mind if I borrow you? Do you mind if I interrupt?
She like holds him away.
Okay, time's up.
The battle for Colton's time is on.
Can I have another few moments with you? She stole him again?
Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
The new season of The Bachelor begins Monday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
The 2019 Rose Parade on ABC is presented by Honda, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019 by U.S. News.
Traditionally, the Cal Poly float always introduces new innovative technologies. Melita Koppinen has come up with a new water feature. Tell us about it.
Great. So I took some everyday pieces that you can get from the store, some Brillo pads, some straws, and some PVC pipe, and I put it all together to basically straighten out water. It makes it clearer and it makes it look a lot better. Never has it been done before, but we are going to have a laminar flow nozzle coming out of this flower right here, recycling itself, and on New Year's Day, you're going to be seeing it clearer than you've ever seen it before.
It's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see how it works. They call you MacGyver, don't they?
Yeah.
And so here's the prototype of the Koppinen flow is what we're calling it now. And you think about it, it's designed to move drops of water the way that lanes divide freeway traffic, keeping them all moving parallel lines at the same speed. But to make it out of everyday devices like a hose bib and PVC pipe, window screen, and cocktail straws, this is just an amazing thing. But we're used to that now because Cal Poly has always been innovative. The universities were the first to introduce an animated float way back in the 1960s. Bottom line, Elon Musk, give them a job right away.
Thank you, John. My goodness gracious. I'm going to tell you guys, and Kevin, again, this is our first time here. We got to go behind the scenes and look at all these floats up close and personal. Those students make me feel like a loser, for sure.
They're all brilliant.
They're brilliant, and they're so passionate. They created this themselves, and by the way, they won the award for Most Extraordinary Float. The story behind this is phenomenal. You see all the detail involved in it, but they were designed and built by the students, not professionals, by these students who, by the way, drove to meet up. The St. Louis Obispo campus students drove 4 hours every weekend for most of the year to get this thing done. The water does not appear to be working, unfortunately.
They're
it's supposed to
conserving
come
it.
out of that flower. Yes, we are in California. You always have to conserve water. Actually, it is recyclable. So here's the thing. You know, there are people underneath. They're probably working feverishly on this as we speak. Unfortunately, it's a 5.5 mile route parade. They've got some time to get it fixed, but the astronauts here that they have created are just great and alien. They're talking back and forth to each other. The tuba at the end,
yeah, I love that.
That moves as well. I mean, the detail here is just spectacular, but I cannot speak enough about what these students have done together, creating it and building it on their own without any school credit, by the way.
Our next float is celebrating 100 years of the Los Angeles Philharmonic. How about this? Kaiser Permanente celebrating the famed LA Philharmonic, which is in its centennial season, and they're celebrating two homes. The Winter Home, the real Walt Disney Concert Hall, one of the architectural gems of LA, covered in steel. And then the Summer Home, the Hollywood Bowls facade rendered here in coconut chips. There are 18,000 red Freedom Roses on the deck of the float, a favorite of Lillian Disney, a major benefactor of the concert hall. 28 musicians on board, 3 doctors and 2 nurses around. I love that it's a celebration, too, of the Summer Home and the Winter Home here, the Philharmonic in LA. And you get some great music to enjoy on that float.
So fitting. Again, the theme today, the melody of life. And that's the perfect segue to our Grand Marshal for today. Melody, boy, she's been bringing it. For more than 4 decades, the Grand Marshal, the Queen of Funk, 70 million albums sold, 10 Grammy Awards won. And if you missed her at the beginning of the parade, it's okay. You can see her once again now. Chaka Khan, the one, the only, who we happened to see perform at our dinner the other night.
Fantastic.
She's in her mid-60s, obviously. She's been around for such a long time, and she hasn't lost a beat. It has been phenomenal to see her, and to see her enthusiasm as well.
And her grandkids, and she's a Nana, and they were celebrating her 2 grandkids up there on stage, and she's the first singer chosen as Grand Marshal since Frank Sinatra back in 1980.
That says something. Here's the thing. Aside from the singing, she gives back so much. It's the Chaka Khan Foundation. It provides Los Angeles area kids facing health issues or those who are living in poverty, provides them with workshops, tutoring, and other tools to help close this achievement gap. So Chaka Khan, the Grand Marshal, getting it done in every possible way here in the Los Angeles area. The behind-the-scenes stuff of this Rose Parade is fantastic. We're going to take you behind the scenes as we continue here live from Pasadena.
You haven't seen the sun in like forever, so you search for a beach vacation. Sunny beaches, sandy beaches, big beaches, small beaches, until you're lost, searching for surfing dogs. But then you find VRBO, and they search millions of homes to find you the perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms and a grill bigger than your kitchen back home. And finding out about the girl he likes at school warms your heart even more than the sun. From beach houses to cabins to condos, find vacation homes that match you with VRBO.
On a shocking season finale of Fansville.
National championship trophy's been stolen, and everyone's a suspect.
Who would steal the trophy?
You'd have to be a big fan.
You think I did it?
Which one of you took it?
You like your Dr. Pepper, don't you?
Yeah.
Give me a name.
Julie, are you sure you didn't take it?
Are you wearing a wire? Are you wearing a wire?
Talk to my guy on the inside. He's your ticket, man.
Hello, Sharon.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
For decades, Men's Warehouse has been helping guys like the way they look. But what makes us so confident?
Maybe it's our expert stylists who know their designer brands. Almost as well as me.
Or their attention to every last detail. For a style and fit that's camera ready.
How's that for confidence? You're gonna like the way you look.
Alex, where did you get that thing? I pulled it out of a stone, and something evil came to take it back. And a boy from school came, and he saved me. And then he turned into an owl. Alex.
We have to have a talk about this King Arthur thing.
There are 4 days until the solar eclipse, when Morgana will enter the world of the living.
And I'm supposed to stop her. That's ridiculous. I'm 12.
The kid who would be king.
Alex! Better be in bed.
Rated PG.
New year, new ABC Funny Tuesday with new laughs.
You're being stupid. I'm sorry. I'm a life coach. You're being intelligent adjacent.
New friends.
You're a single fella?
Married to a little lady called Forensic Science.
So single.
Yeah. New adventures.
You need to take Jack and Diane camping.
Yeah. And new fantasies.
Oh!
New ABC Funny Tuesday, next Tuesday on ABC.
Welcome back to ABC's coverage of the 130th Rose Parade. This float, I have to admit, may be my favorite. It has just won the award for most outstanding float design and dramatic impact. And when you hear the story, you will understand why. It's from Donate Life, the theme Rhythm of the Heart. Those faces you see on the side of those drums are the faces of donors. People who lost their lives, but saved so many more by donating their organs. You see the people walking alongside? Those are living donors and family members of those who died and chose to share their organs. The people on the float, they are actual recipients. So you talk about impact, you talk about emotion, but the impact of the Rose Parade in highlighting this issue has been awesome. This is their 16th year, and since Donate Life began showing up at the Rose Parade, organ donation registration has increased more than tenfold. The design
It's amazing.
of this as well, Kevin.
The
is
work of art
spectacular.
behind the mask
Yes.
right there. We talked to designers that were involved. They've never seen anything like that. And you mentioned the fluorographs, the 44 of them. Each take 30 to 40 hours, and the detail when you see the faces, it's so amazing, and what this float represents.
The emotion, of course, yes, it's sad in some ways, but they want this to be a celebration of life because of what those people chose to do, to donate organs, to give others more life.
And Sage, fittingly behind the Donate Life float is a man who has received kidney and liver transplants while battling cancer. That is the president of the Tournament of Roses.
Here's John Neighbor.
Okay, everybody. Every year, the tournament's president gets to make two important decisions. He gets to choose the theme of the parade, and he gets to select the Grand Marshal. This year's president, Gerald Freeney, seated in the car, added another to his list. He chose where in the parade he wanted to appear, and he chose immediately behind the Donate Life float. Why? Well, because in addition to 27 years in law enforcement and board-level service on various local nonprofit foundations, he's also a two-time kidney transplant recipient. He's also a lymphoma cancer survivor. He and I happen to serve on the board of the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center together. That's right, he even helped raise money for a swimming pool, but he never spoke of his challenges, only of his delight in serving. Gerald and his wife Trina chose the theme Melody of Life because, as he said, listening to music significantly helped him overcome some of his health challenges. Get it? Music and health, the melody of life. A perfect theme.
John, thank you so much. And our next float, the City of Hope, 10 miles east of Pasadena, is the City of Hope, one of the country's leading cancer research and treatment centers. And we talk about the theme of this parade, the melody of life. The piano keys and musical elements symbolize the harmony, which all work together toward a successful outcome. The monarch butterflies are metaphors for the internal compass that leads researchers toward a cure. And you see the white peacocks. They're symbols of the compassion and pure commitment of the medical professionals at City of Hope for their patients. On the float, a group of doctors, patients, and nurses. As we take a look here, it just won the most outstanding use and presentation of flowers.
Nicknamed the incomparable Marching 100, Kevin.
Long famed as one of the greatest and most innovative collegiate marching bands in the country, the Marching 100. There's actually 315 members, Florida A&M University, making their debut this morning at the Rose Parade presented by Honda.
Is a carousel of experience. Farmers Insurance presenting this float, and it is a blast. It's a carousel filled with basically disasters that the capable folks at Farmers Insurance can handle, and they have handled, all based on true claims. So look from afar, and then you look closely. By the way, this did just win the award for most outstanding presentation of roses, because there are thousands and thousands of roses on just this one float. But I want you to look closely at the Farmers Insurance logo. Anything that you see that's blue, basically throughout this parade, that's rare, that's difficult. The two most difficult float colors are blue and black, and these are blue iris petals, and they're so delicate. And they take them from the flower and glue them on, sometimes 24, max 48 hours before today, because they've got to stay fresh and keep their vibrancy. But you see what else is on there? Beans, rice, coconut, it's all over the place. But again, this is really, it's not funny, but they're trying to have fun with the theme, which is we can cover you no matter what happens in your house, or on your property, or on your motorcycle. But all the people on the float are Farmers Insurance agents from around the country who apparently have dealt with squirrel issues, and they've had to help people get squirrels out of their homes.
You have to have a sense of humor dealing with that type of disaster, right?
I would say so, but, you know, hey, this is a celebration today. The melody of life.
It's a moving carousel.
What is that? What kind of animal is that? I have no idea. Apparently, they've had to cover claims on whatever that animal is. Tweet us. Let us know what that is. What a story with Banda Escolar de Guayanilla from Puerto Rico. This story is incredible. 2 weeks after the band found out that they got to participate here at the Rose Parade, remember, Puerto Rico was devastated by back-to-back Category 5 hurricanes, Irma and Maria. Their instruments, along with their entire town, most of their towns were wiped out. So fundraising at home was nearly impossible. They had to rely on other bands that you will meet here later today from Mercer Island, Washington, and Pickerington, Ohio. Those bands did double duty, raising funds and kind of adopting them to make sure these kids could come from Puerto Rico and appear in the Rose Parade. It's an awesome story.
Members of the Mercer Band raising, what, $55,000?
Yes.
And there's 20 marching bands here in the parade. Bands usually find out about 15 months prior that they're going to the Rose Parade, so they had some time, but thankfully they had enough time to raise the money and to help. I mean, as you mentioned, a couple bands chipping in to raise money for them to make the trip here.
Dealing with so many difficult things, loss of life, I bet in many ways this was their escape. And so kudos to everybody, the band stateside as well, for making sure these young men and women who've worked so hard could be here today. We are just getting going. I love this theme, the melody of life, and every single float has their take on it. This was the last 48 hours where fans got to come and see up close and personal views of these floats, which are amazing. We're back after this.
We design it, source it, craft it, and tailor it, which is the only way we'll put our name on it. The highest quality from stitch to store. That's the Bankway.
Don't miss the holiday movie event.
Mary Poppins!
The critics are calling a big-hearted spectacle for everyone. And now it's been nominated for Best Picture of the Year.
Can you imagine that?
Mary Poppins Returns, rated PG, now playing.
It's 1990-something, and William Penn Academy has made an amazing new hire. Oh, me, Lainey Lewis, music teacher. Crazy, right? I mean, music, sure, but teacher?
You're wearing 2 different shoes.
Shut up, nerd. Valued student.
From producers of The Goldbergs.
Who wants to grab some fish sticks? Pretty sweet. The teachers eat for free, am I right?
Teachers do not eat for free.
You've been grabbing food without paying?
No.
School, series premiere Wednesday, January 9th on ABC.
I'm cool.
And we want to make sure that you and your family are safe as you're heading out on the road. 23 ABC's
News happens every day.
We're going to enjoy this beautiful weather because we'll have a high of 77 degrees, sunny skies, and a light breeze.
And this student section is incredible.
23 ABC is there.
Number of personnel right here on scene.
With more reporters than any other station. 23 ABC, connecting you.
There's something in the air this morning. It's wonderful.
Big day, big day.
Good morning, America. Such good news.
Robin.
Get in here.
That was good.
Here we are. My heart is so full right now. You have no idea what a privilege it is to be able to say good morning to America every single morning.
And happiest of holidays.
From 23 ABC Morning News. 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Never stop chasing the story. Be committed to being there.
We're glad you're okay.
Oh, thank you.
On the scene, wherever the story may be.
You could hear the gunfire just around this wall.
Always reaching higher together.
Back on the job.
Back in the job.
Help build my country back.
23 ABC News at 5 and 6, connecting you. And World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Welcome back to the Rose Parade on ABC, and we welcome you back with the Royal Court Float. The 101st Rose Queen is 18-year-old Louise Desser Siskel. She's a senior at Sequoia High School in Pasadena. She is the first Rose Queen to wear glasses. Has a couple of other firsts as well. Louise is the first Jewish Rose Queen and the first member of the LGBTQ community selected to the Royal Court.
And I was looking at the Mastery of the Wave, right? That is the one thing that is universal to all Rose Queens.
That's stressful to me, because I'm completely uncoordinated. That would not be happening. There's many reasons why I would have never been a queen.
And Louise plans to study cellular biology at the University of Chicago in the fall.
Real quick, that tiara, valued at $100 grand, 600 pearls, 6 carats of diamonds. You go, girl.
Sage, 130 years ago was the Roses of California, which started this parade, but in the 21st century, California's dominant crop is almonds. Blue Diamond Growers, a co-op of small and medium-sized almond growers from California's Central Valley. And, you know, California producing some 80% of the world's almonds. And almond milk has become a giant industry and starts with the bees. That's why we see them. They pollinate the flowers, which create the almonds, which become the milk. And
Were you a science teacher in your former life?
Maybe, right? And you know, an almond tree dream, that's what we're seeing here.
The music is very fitting for this float, by the way.
Now, have you ever wondered about the unseen pilots, the guys that navigate the floats on parade day?
Yes, Kevin.
Well, John Neighbor caught up with a veteran driver to find out what it takes to get the job done.
We're here in front of the Western Asset Yellow Submarine float. It's about 60,000 pounds of machinery, foam, and decorations. That's like 3/4 of an 18-wheeler fully loaded. And to understand what it takes to get this monstrosity down Colorado Boulevard, I'm going to need some help. Inside each float, towards the back, is a driver. In this case, Mark Bevan, who has been driving floats down the Rose Parade route. This is 53rd year. And Mark, you got to tell us, what's most important for a float driver?
The number one thing is I got to make sure this float doesn't end up in the crowd. In order to do that, I've got a steering wheel to keep things straight. What I also have is a monitor here that's got a camera on the front of the float that completely lines me up straight in the parade. So I follow that pink line and I can kind of get a stop and start, but I have no peripheral vision at all. So in order to see anything or understand anything in the parade, I've got an observer in the front of the parade, and I communicate with him with the headset.
The observer's going to be sitting inside this treasure chest underneath the big pearl. He'll be looking out the window, and as you can tell, there's just not a whole lot of room inside. But there's lots of buttons and cables and switches for him to control.
Hey, wait, but whatever you do, don't press that red button.
That one?
Okay, and John Neighbor has disintegrated into thin air. It's been a good 30 years with you, John. Got to listen to your elders there. John, thank you. And how about Mark Bevan, 53 years? This float, the Western Asset Management Company, the theme, you guessed it, Yellow Submarine. Their 12th year, and there's a lot going on here. Whirring, animation, all kinds of crazy, awesome detail. It's a real marvel of engineering and imagination, and that is why, by the way, it has been named the most outstanding display of fantasy and imagination. So when you look at the yellow sub, yellow carnations, silver leaf, lots of yellow straw flower, which is something very popular that a lot of these floats use because it's kind of a workhorse in the float flower world. And look closely at this angelfish, Kevin. These are the things that when we got to see up close and personal, you go, what? They're using black beans and coconut and iris flakes and status. And again, the man hours for just an angelfish. 40, 50 hours for one thing.
Yeah, and the average float demands 7,000 to 10,000 hours of decoration. That's an average.
And remember, the majority of these people doing it are volunteering. There's the angelfish from much further away. No big deal. Beautiful. Again, the whirring. See that imagination part? I would imagine it, but then how do you execute
Exactly.
it?
It's fun to draw. Now how are you going to put it together, right?
That's
all
why
organic?
You send your kids to Cal Poly, and then they teach you. We are really still just getting going here, live from Pasadena for the 130th Rose Parade. Sage and Kevin, back in a minute.
Suit up, gang. Our enemies are getting smarter.
What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid. Let's go!
Keep on! Wow.
It's a hidden dragon world. We'll be safe here.
A light fury.
He's not the only one.
Did he just disappear?
Well, look who it is!
Rated PG.
Not a word. I can deduct this, right?
Excuse me, you stuck?
No, I'm not stuck.
Let's say you were. H&R Block Online has experts standing by.
So I can chat with them?
Yeah, but you're not stuck.
But if I was?
They can even see your screen to help you.
This screen?
Mm-hmm. They can even review your entire online return.
How?
That's amazing.
High five.
Like,
I don't think that's gonna work. Expert help when you need it with H&R Block Online. In person or online, Block has your back.
It can seem unreachable at first. The bar too high, shoes too big. You'll take leaps of faith and fall on your face, but you'll get up. Hard work is 50 sprints before breakfast and another 50 for breakfast. You'll eat it, breathe it, sleep it. The Goodyear blimp doesn't show up for just anybody, so don't be just anybody. Be blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven.
I shook the bad habits that got me into credit card debt, but couldn't quite shake the balance. I wanted to take control of my finances, get a fresh start. So I went to LendingTree. They connected me with lenders and showed me how I could use a personal loan to turn 4 monthly payments into 1. I didn't even know you could do that. I saved a ton. With LendingTree's help, I'm breaking out of this debt cycle. I'm building a better foundation for me and my family. LendingTree.
We need to laugh, damn it.
Wednesday, January 9th. New year, new funny, brand new show. The Goldbergs are planning a Bevzilla event.
I'm throwing the wedding of the century.
And producers of the Goldbergs spin off into the 90-something comedy School.
I'm an adult now.
You're wearing 2 different shoes.
Shut up, nerd.
A new modern is moving in.
I know it's a little bit small. Oh, honey, it's only small for a place to live.
And a single parent's prank.
My son's face looks like the side of a bathroom stall.
It's all new Wednesday, January 9th on ABC.
And welcome back to the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda. Kevin Nagani, Sage Steele, John Neighbor with you. And the Ohio State Band is also known as the best damn band in the land. And we heard the loud cheers from Buckeye Nation ready to go. Champions of the Big Ten Conference. They're going to play the Pac-12 champs, Washington, later today at the 105th Rose Bowl game later on ABC.
Last night, Trader Joe's, Glendale, California. Yeah, this is the Trader Joe's float. Ride, Captain, ride is the theme. 480 stores in 41 states in DC, and the music and the feel of this float, that's how I felt when they opened the one near my house. I was so excited. This ship is decorated with almost 62,000 different flowers, as well as assortments of fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, which I don't like that word, I say beans, that you'd expect to find and buy at Trader Joe's. Look at the close-up. I said 62,000, a good chunk of those are roses, 5 different rose types, pink, red, lavender, white. I mean, the detail on this, once again, is spectacular, and it is fitting for what a Trader Joe's store looks like when you walk in, and then you see the replica of the food as well, Kevin. Pumpkins.
And we're hearing the music too. Ride, Captain, ride.
Heck yeah.
Captained by actual captains, Trader Joe's captains from all across the country.
And I'm wondering, did they had to have won an award for this, didn't they? Yeah, actually they did. The most outstanding use of imagination, innovation, and technology. That goes to Trader Joe's.
They deserve it.
The Mercer Island High School Marching Band. We mentioned them before because they're one of the bands that helped raise the money for the band from Puerto Rico that was hit so hard by those hurricanes. But Mercer Island, Washington, right between Seattle and Bellevue. Along with helping raise money for the Puerto Rican band, this band from Mercer also brought the Puerto Rican students to Mercer Island for their homecoming. Again, trying to uplift those kids when they had so much going against them. But wow, can they play as well?
Sage, I look at floats like our kids. You can't have one as a favorite, but man, this one's pretty impressive,
You
right?
loved this the other day in the barn. I knew you
Stella
did.
Rosa Wines, founded in LA in 1917. The cool thing is, check out the genie and the detail, the beauty of the face. Her brown hair is created by from shiny flaxseed, dressed in yellow straw flower petals with accents of that purple status blossoms, the white coconut chips. Do you hear that music?
Heck yeah.
That is Kool and the Gang performing on the float. Take it away, guys. Let's celebrate.
Keep going, guys, please.
The fireworks in the back, 22,000 roses on the front deck.
This whole box is rocking, by the way. The
Darn right it is.
I'm a little nervous.
How can you not move when you hear this?
A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you.
Come on, Kim. Oh wait, that's not. Oh wait.
Together, it's up to you. What's your pleasure?
Well done. And this float earning the most outstanding creative concept and float design. Again, the details in the genie, she is
the lashes,
stunning.
And the designers are telling us how difficult it is to create faces that look realistic and are frankly that perfect. And she is.
By the way, you see that the vineyard right there? Those are grapevine roots. The detail on this float, well deserved the most outstanding creative concept and float design.
This farmhouse is in the back. That's where I belong.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going.
We got more music coming your way. We talked about the bands. Pickerington, Ohio. Musicians from two Pickerington high schools. Pickerington High School North, Pickerington High School Central, forming this unit, marching in memory of their former director, Michael Sewell, who passed away in April of 2017. And the Tournament of Roses has initiated an award in Mr. Sewell's honor that will be presented each year to a Rose Parade band who exhibits service above and beyond with their music. The Tournament of Roses Michael D. Sewell Service Through Music Award.
This is a busy, busy band, highly decorated. They've gone to 2017 Citrus Parade in London for New Year's Day a year ago. And then today, of course, this is a full-time job. Yeah. And they're high schoolers.
And the history, too, this is their 5th appearance at the Rose Parade. Originally came in 1993, 97, 2006, and then 9 years ago in 2010. place we'd rather be than here with you in Pasadena, California. The sweepstakes winner for Best Float still coming your way here as we continue from the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda.
Do you want to go? Inside there.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years, we've been in the hospital. We haven't had a chance to actually celebrate a Christmas.
I would like to go in there.
Do you want to shrink and go inside the snow globe?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, looks so cool. Welcome, Sammy. Hello. Snow! Whoa! Oh, it's so cute. Oh, a snowman came out.
How was your trip?
My trip was amazing.
What was in there? I didn't see. I wasn't in there with you.
So awesome. Oh, look it.
Yeah.
It's like what I just saw.
That's right.
This is the same snowman that was inside my imagination.
To be able to see my patients have the opportunity to experience joy and happiness and to be able to forget cancer and just be a child is truly a miracle.
I wish my family a happy holiday.
I put a spell on you.
There's a lot of talk about what Bachelor Colton hasn't done, but she is gonna one-up him.
I have never kissed anyone.
You heard that right.
I could definitely see myself having my first kiss with Colton.
Go get him, Tiger. The new season of The Bachelor, Monday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Hey!
I'm happier than I've ever been.
You have to live your life the way you want to.
If you think that you're doing this alone, you're wrong. We are here for you.
A Million Little Things moves to Thursdays after Grey's Anatomy, starting January 17th on ABC.
Happy New Year. I'm Colton, your new bachelor. I hope you're enjoying the Rose Parade. I've got a New Year's resolution for you. Watch the live season premiere of The Bachelor Monday on ABC. I'll be there for the right reasons. Will you?
Yes, Colton, yes. I will be there for you. Take a look along Colorado Avenue. I tell you what, about 700,000 people approximately in attendance for the 130th Rose Parade. And what a perfect day. A little cooler than usual. High 50s, usually it's about 60s, but that's okay.
Crowd
It's
energy,
sunny.
though, is
It is
great.
beautiful. And one man who's been here for so many of them, our Olympian, our historian, our technology expert. Hello, John Neighbors.
Hi, Sage. Thank you so much. You know, for years, the tournament has been disseminating information about road closures and public parking and how to get to the bowl, etc., how to buy tickets to the game and the parade or whatever, all on a tournament app, a Tournament of Roses public app available online from the App Store. It just disappeared on me, I'm afraid to say. But if you download it now, you're going to find out about the Equest Fest, the Band Fest, the Rose Bowl Bash. You're going to learn about the game tickets, the pre and post activity events, all of this as well. It'll also tell you how to find a good place to drop off and pick up an Uber or a Lyft, and so that's really important too. Back to you.
Thank you, John.
You know, the great thing about John is we don't need to download that app because if we hang around John, he'll just tell us.
No, it's amazing.
An encyclopedia of everything about Pasadena.
He lives here and he loves it. And it is a blast to see his enthusiasm for this, even though he still says he doesn't know how many of these parades he's done, 27, 28. I'm going to round up and say 30. University of Washington, there you go. University of Washington marching band located just outside of Seattle, Washington, of course. Now, how about this? Friday's Rose Parade rehearsal was the first time the band has played together since Thanksgiving, and it was actually a really difficult reason why. One of the buses that was taking the band to the game at Washington State rolled over, and more than 3 dozen people were injured, 10 of them seriously. So just one band member not able to recover, but they are here. It's been a tough fall for them, and they're here for their fans. They're here, of course, for the big game today, kicking off in about 5 hours.
This age, the energy here too. Plenty of Husky fans chanting, and this is our schedule later on ESPN. New Year's Day, you need college football. LSU and undefeated UCF squaring off at 1 p.m. Eastern, the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. And then, of course, our game, Washington and Ohio State, 5 p.m. Eastern time, the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual. And the nightcap, the All-State Sugar Bowl, number 5, Georgia taking on number 15, Texas on ESPN, 8:45 p.m. Eastern time. As we continue the Rose Parade here, let's take a look at the Shriners Hospitals for Children, Fezzi's Garden of Hope and Healing. And Fezzi Bear has long been the comforting ambassador of the Shriners Hospitals for Children, and here he sits in a peaceful garden of flowers and butterflies. Fezzi's fur is made from that light and dark bow mums, and the eyes of black beans, nose of black seaweeds. His fez is covered in Christmas mums with the tassel of black seaweed. A close-up look at one of the butterflies. The wings, black and white beans, all put on one at a time.
And we were witnessing this, and literally, women, kids, men with little tiny glue guns.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned kids too. Like, this is a generational thing passed on volunteers who bring in family, and they continue. We have 66,000 flowers on this float.
Just this float alone.
And this float, by the way, won the most outstanding presentation of the Rose Parade theme. Much more to come from Pasadena as we continue to celebrate Happy New Year 2019.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, designing, returning, storing, crating. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping. Proud promotional sponsor of the 2019 Tournament of Roses.
Thursday night on ABC, a picture of John F. Kennedy Jr. you've never seen. New interviews, close friends, intimate new details, rare video. The last days of John F. Kennedy Jr.
He was the last prince.
Thursday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
After your car accident, stop, think, don't say anything, and don't sign anything until you call me first.
After my car accident, the insurance company wanted me to settle quickly. I said, whoa, stop. I'm not signing anything until I speak to James Johnson.
Stop, think, and don't do anything until you call me first.
James Johnson fought hard to give me the settlement I really deserve. James Johnson wins.
Call me. I'm attorney James Johnson, and I want to win for you.
Call 661-246-4466.
It's your turn to get healthy and lean in 2019.
New year, new energy.
New year, new strength.
New year, new wardrobe.
I lost 101 pounds and I feel incredible.
I lost over 150 pounds, and the best part, my insurance paid for almost everything.
Let West Medical help make your resolution a reality. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for a free PPO insurance verification.
It's an incredible feeling.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Hi, I'm John Petrie, and we believe in Marley's Mutts and their mission to make Kern no-kill. That's why Motor City Buick GMC is a proud sponsor of their weekend segment right here on 23 ABC.
To meet this week's Pet of the Week, watch 23 ABC News Weekends.
Jessica Harrington, weeknights on 23 ABC News, connecting you.
I love a parade, the tramping of feet. I love every beat I hear of a drum.
The spirited Pasadena City College Lancer Band serves as the official Tournament of Roses marching unit, heralding the Grand Marshal, Mr. Walt Disney.
Baseball's all-time home run champion, Henry Aaron, cartoonist Charles M. Schultz, and his daughter, Amy.
For I love a parade.
And I love hearing Mr. Scully's voice. Welcome to Pasadena. There's no place we'd rather be than here with you, celebrating the new year. Kevin Nagani alongside Sage Steele. We're still waiting for that sweepstakes float. And
yes.
I think we're going to see that in a matter of minutes.
This, though, had to be a really, really difficult competition for the judges, because these have been phenomenal. This is one of my favorites. This is 24-hour fitness, the float we're about to take a look at. And again, the creativity, the ingenuity, the design, the technology, the use of flowers. So many things have to go into it. This one is a celebration of strength and athleticism. This is obviously a powerful female athlete who kind of looks like a superhero. She's made of tens of thousands of flowers. Look inside her body if you can. Those are her internal organs. The heart, the lungs, appropriate colors. It's moving. She looks healthy to me. On the float, those are all actual trainers on working out and walking alongside who've come from across the country. They got their TRX bands out there in the middle of the day for 5.5 miles. I can get about 2 minutes in.
Yeah, and they're doing this for 2 hours.
It's awesome. By the way, one of the most popular New Year's resolutions is what? To get back in shape. That's why this float is pretty fitting. Any resolutions for you, Kevin? It's the first of the year. You got to have one.
To eat a little bit better. It's hard to do it on the road, but we'll try to do that and try to do this. You know, a workout like this. Good luck. Maybe by the end of 2019 you can accomplish it.
So yours is to work out more. Mine is to sleep more. I don't know what that says about
all helping our bodies, right? And you know what? Let's spend your life living. That's what the goal is, right? And a great message from Northwestern Mutual.
The song is beautiful.
The family frolics of financially secure elephants, and they're taking a trip on the SS Elfie. How about that? The iPhone, and look at the detail. That's a picture
the SS
of Dad.
Elfie.
Yes, exactly, with Dad and Mom and the 3 kids in the background. How about that? That is fantastic detail. Holding that iPhone selfie picture on the backside, and 310 bunches of status on the elephant. It takes 450 hours to prepare for that lavender, and they've been cutting since November to make sure they have enough. The celebration of the kids in the background. This is what it's all about. Mom wearing that corn husk hat, the solid carnation swimsuit. She's ready to go. And it's a reminder, Northwestern Mutual is the sponsor of the Rose Bowl game coming up later on today, 5 p.m. Eastern time on ABC, 2 p.m. local.
Let's say hello, please, a round of applause on your couches as well for the new Hall of Fame inductees. The Rose Bowl game. See, he said it for me. Thank you. On cue.
You got Hallis, Randall McDaniel, Pop Warner, and of course Vince Young. He gave us the greatest performance in Rose Bowl history.
Absolutely.
Leading Texas, you know, in that victory, back-to-back Rose Bowl wins, beating USC, the stunner with Reggie Bush, the Heisman winner on the other side.
That? And how about Randall McDaniel, the big man in the back? We covered the Buccaneers back in the early 2000s, and he was part of that team before retiring 12 seasons with Minnesota, 2 with Tampa Bay. What a great man, and he is now a Hall of Fame inductee here.
Glad you said that, a great gentleman. And, you know, Vince gets in. A year ago, Mac Brown got into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame.
Next up, we have our sweepstakes winner, Kevin. This is it. This is the granddaddy of them all as far as the awards go, and it goes to the UPS Store Incorporated for the most beautiful entry encompassing float design, floral presentation, and entertainment. And when you look at it and look at this ostrich,
stunning.
You get it. She is 37 feet tall, the tallest in this year's Rose Parade. Absolutely beautiful. Books keep us on our toes. That is the theme. By the way, there's more than 30,000 pale pink carnations adorning Olive, the ostrich. But the UPS store helped develop Toys for Tots literacy program. Over the last decade, the store has brought some 40 million books of all kinds to underserved communities. So that is the theme, and Olive the ostrich is the winner of the Sweepstakes Award for
Well
2019.
deserved. It is stunning in person.
Absolutely stunning. 37 feet tall, 55 feet long, 18 feet wide. And it's just for a day. Take a look behind the scenes. Again, the thousands of workers, kids included, Girl Scouts volunteering their time to bring you the Rose Parade of 2019.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, designing, returning, storing, crating. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping. Proud promotional sponsor of the 2019 Tournament of Roses.
This holiday season, only one movie has the most talked about performance of the year.
I'm honored.
The most Golden Globe nominations this year, and is now being called the best picture of the year.
The vice president is a nothing job.
I have a few ideas. Vice, rated R.
Here we come.
Papa loves mambo. Mama loves
Mrs. Maisel's going to be a household name.
Look at him sway with it, getting so gay with it, shouting olay with it. Wow.
Exciting, right?
Papa, love the mambo tonight.
Yeah. Thank you and good night.
For decades, Men's Warehouse has been helping guys like the way they look. But what makes us so confident?
Maybe it's our expert stylists who know their designer brands. Almost as well as me.
Or their attention to every last detail. For a style and fit that's camera ready.
How's that for confidence? You're gonna like the way you look.
Introducing Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal. For $5, this giant comes with double the beef and bacon, nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's nothing junior about it, except the price. For a limited time.
Next Tuesday, TV's #1 new comedy returns. Oh! And it's game on.
I'll call you if I need you.
You left your phone by the bike.
Exactly.
The Connors, new next Tuesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
I killed someone.
A rookie's split-second decision.
If I can't get past this,
could cost him his life.
I don't got it, brother, no more. You killed him.
The Rookie returns Tuesday, January 8th on ABC.
Welcome back to the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda, and this is such a special group, the New Buffalo Soldiers. They were formed in 1992 to honor the originals, and this group was called Buffalo Soldiers by the Indians, who thought their hair resembled the tufts of hair between the horns of a buffalo. But the originals, freedmen and former slaves, were an important part of the westward movement. Again, African-American soldiers who weren't allowed to fight alongside white soldiers. I have to say, rest in peace to my grandfather, Frank Richard Steele, a Buffalo Soldier. This one, I have to say, means a lot to me, Kevin, and for these men to be out here, for it to be recreated, for it to continue long after many of these men have passed on is quite special.
Sage, the theme of this parade this year, the melody of life. And to have these guys experience this down Colorado Boulevard, and we could share that experience, it's fantastic. We're honored to do it. As we continue, the American Armenian Rose Float Association, you hear the music, and you see there's two men up top performing an Armenian folk and martial clap dance known as the Yarkushta. And it's performed by men who face each other in pairs. This pair were modeled after a painting by a noted Armenian artist. They're dancing among the stones of the Karahunj, which means chanting stones in Armenian. The Karahunj is often referred to as the Armenian Stonehenge. It's actually predates Stonehenge by 3,500 years. The cool thing is you're going to see a gap in between the stones. And the wind that comes through that gap is a chant. And that's how they're known. You can hear a chant, the chanting stones. All Armenian volunteers putting this float together. 5th year in the parade. As we continue, I mentioned 5 years in the parade. How about this? The Salvation Army Tournament of Roses Band. This is their 100th appearance in the Rose Parade for the Salvation Army Band. They've more than doubled in size for this centennial appearance, bringing in members from 6 continents, at least one member from every single state. If there's one thing the Rose Parade is never short on, Sage, it's flowers. And our guy, John Neighbor, can attest the parade builders use a treasure trove of floral materials that would be the envy of your neighborhood florists.
There you go, perfect. Great. Good.
Andrea Zepeda, one of the float leaders here at the Tournament of Roses Parade, and I've got to compliment you on your work. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
Okay, so here we have, you see our drum, and right here is yellow mums, and then down here we have our wonderful dragon, and we have different seeds, parsley, we have peach lentils, we have cranberry seeds, we have status, and just many other things.
Andrea, can you show us some of the blooms and blossoms we look forward to seeing?
Absolutely, let's go, John.
So inside the flower tent, what do we have?
We have the flowers for China Airlines float. Now they are predominantly red, orange, and yellow flowers. So we have yellow mums, we have yellow cushion mums, yellow button mums, we have red roses, red carnations, and white mums. But in our other tent, we have some great exotics over there.
Let's look.
Okay. There are heliconias, there are phalaenopsis flowers, there are cymbidium orchids, there are dendrobium orchids, and there are tea leaves.
Wait. You're speaking so many different languages to me. It's more than I can possibly absorb. But I'm sure the China Airlines float will be gorgeous.
And John, is it ever gorgeous? And it has won an award for the most outstanding float from outside the United States. And that should not surprise you if you just think about the Chinese culture, the Taiwanese culture, and the vibrancy and the brilliance that really is in every part of it, from their clothing. When you're in the country, you can see it. But for more than 30 years, the China Airlines, the group has given us a glimpse of the culture. This is called Rhythm of Taiwan, and it's kind of funky, cool, with ancient folk religion and a modern sensibility, featuring the techno dancing third prince. There he is on top, Neza, the third prince. So again, you've got that ancient music and techno. It's cool.
The mix of the East and the Western cultures.
And the flowers and the detail, as expected with the China Airlines float. Gorgeous. Hey, we do have some beanies on. It's a little chilly, but still so many smiles because there is nothing like the Rose Parade. Back with more after this.
Here you go, Dumbo.
On March 29th, you have something very rare. You have magic. Wow! Don't just fly.
You're a miracle, Allison Dumbo.
Soar.
Come on! You can do it, Dumbo.
It's made me a child again. Disney's Dumbo.
For decades, Men's Wearhouse has been helping guys like the way they look. But what makes us so confident?
Maybe it's our expert stylists who know their designer brands almost as well as me.
Or their attention to every last detail. For a style and fit that's camera ready.
How's that for confidence? You're gonna like the way you look.
For every home project,
HomeAdvisor finds trusted local pros. For every pro, you can read customer reviews. And for everybody's busy schedule, you can book appointments online. For every project, you have HomeAdvisor. Go to HomeAdvisor.com.
How we see, how we look. Great eyewear is all about both. Thoughtful design. Precision optics. Styles people love. At Zenni.com, we make it all stunningly affordable. So you can see the world the way it's meant to be seen. In perfect focus. Zenni.com. Eyewear for everyone.
Sharing sunshine for generations. Pass it on.
I would do anything for you.
You've done nothing for me. For 19 years, my father's been like, Zoe, you're great at everything you do.
I wish your parents had been more honest with you.
Reminding you it's New Year's Day and you need some college football. Been waiting all season to see a matchup where UCF gets to show off in front of a national audience, undefeated, taking LSU in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, 1 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. And then, of course, cannot wait for the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl game presented by Northwestern Mutual, Ohio State. Urban Meyer's last game as the Buckeye head coach, taking on Washington. And then the nightcap on ESPN, the All-State Sugar Bowl, number 5, Georgia, squaring off against number 15, Texas, just before 9 o'clock Eastern time.
If anybody watches this on ESPN, that's what you're used to hearing.
Yes.
The Gandhi State Field talking on the 6 p.m. Eastern Time Sports Center, just in case you're wondering. We've learned so much the past couple of days, and one thing that was most fascinating to me is that the floats must be no more than 17 feet high.
Great point.
Initially, because if they're not, they can't get under the bridges,
yeah,
the
there's
underpasses.
An overpass, yeah.
So just about every single float here is collapsible and then goes as high as the UPS float that won the award, 37 feet. So imagine that with sometimes 70, 80,000 flowers, blooms on it, and then they have to carefully
bring it down,
collapse them.
And at 2 miles an hour, making sure the hydraulics are working.
Yeah, sometimes going, 15, 20 miles to get here in place, praying the flat. Incredible. But again, the collapsible part is what's fascinating to me, the mechanics that go into it, not just the beauty.
And with that all being said, too, many involved are volunteers. They do this because they love it. They do it because they love Pasadena and this event. We are honored to be here.
Girl Scouts, this is their weekend project for months.
I love it. I love the idea as we continue the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda. And let's go to Hawaii. Yeah, Nicole, Hawaii's all-state marching band. Members of the band are drawn from public and private schools all on the island because of the geography. They rehearsed together for the first time after arriving in California last week, and they sound great.
You never know it.
Sage, as a former drummer, I want one of those things that they were banging on right there. Not the actual drum, the other one.
As a former drummer, I want that thing.
It was a cool.
You don't know what that thing is?
I don't know what it is. It's in Hawaii. I got to find a way to get it.
Yeah, I'll meet you there. Are you buying the tickets?
They could just send it via UPS.
here. The float from Dole Packaged Foods is one of the most beautiful in the parade. In fact, they have won the prestigious Sweepstakes Award for being the most beautiful 6 out of 9 years. This year, it was the UPS float, but Dole did not disappoint. They actually won the most outstanding display of floral presentation, float design and entertainment award. And again, the detail is insane. This is titled Rhythm of Paradise, a tribute to Dole's Hawaiian heritage and roots. And you can see that floral gardens. This is the starfish. Those are pistachio shells that they're using, and lentil beans and rice. These things, that starfish, are probably about 5 feet in circumference as well. I'm trying to recall from what we saw the other day in the barn, but this is just one tiny detail. Again, oh, there it is. That's the full scope of it, and you see it surrounded by thousands of different roses, orchids, and really the bird's paradise, very different, unique flowers, many of which are extremely expensive because we know you have some of the more traditional ones, the carnations, and you get up into those ones from the tropical climates. That's big bucks, but Dole always brings it.
Everything organic as well. They're using a glue that is waterproof, and the moisture extends the life of the flowers. Let's continue the theme, the Hawaii Pa'u Riders. The theme of this parade, the melody of life, and these riders are all from Hawaii. Whenever they take part in a parade or events outside the islands, they have to rent horses, and these came from San Diego. Pa'u refers to the Hawaiian skirts that they're wearing, made out of 12 yards of material held up with only 6 nuts, no zippers, no buttons.
I will say, as someone who's been around horses her whole life, those are some good boys. To carry all that, that's a lot of weight. And then, of course, with 700,000 fans lining the streets, good job.
Good
Deserve
job.
some carrots and apples afterwards.
And then we're seeing throughout this parade for 2 hours, 18 equestrian units. Here's one of them. And here comes the Carnival Cruise Lines, the Panorama Line. And this is a detailed replica of Carnival's first new ship on the West Coast in 20 years. Scheduled to enter service in December of 2019, will sail the Mexican Riviera, returning to Southern California.
That's my favorite part, Kevin.
Very cool. That, the diver. Close-up look at, and you see the silver leaf right there. It gets that shine, the sunlight.
And then the black is all seaweed, just dried, stretched seaweed. Edible.
10,000 carnations you'll see on the back of the funnel. The cool thing about this is Carnival has employees from 90 countries. So the front part of this boat, they found 90 elements from 90 countries all over. And some of those elements include coconut. And then you see, of course, when you're on a Carnival cruise ship, right? You're going to have some fun. How about a trampoline and a water slide?
Listen, Carnival Cruise Line, 1993. Spring break when I was in college. I think I'm still paying for it. There was no trampoline. I need to do it again and recreate my college years, I think.
I want to hear more of the spring
No,
break.
you don't. No, you don't.
Okay. And you're going to party on the Lido deck, unique features. And then on the back part of it, the funnel, 10,000 carnations.
It's awesome. From what I remember, it was a great party, really.
From what you can share.
Oh, from the Carnival party to Oddfellows and Rebecca's. Their float for today, and it's 200 years of harmony. This one's really special. We've seen a ton of floats built by corporations, and there are local cities which create floats, but there are also a group of charitable and service organizations which have a long history. And this is the 67th year in the Rose Parade for the Oddfellows and Rebecca's. It's a worldwide service group actively involved in a variety of civic and philanthropic efforts on a local, national, and international level. They've been around for a long time, and basically, they want to help each other, help make this world a better place. It sounds cliche when we talk to the creators of this, and that was a very important message they wanted us to get across.
Sage, you mentioned helping others, the melody of life, the theme here, the 130th Rose Parade, and How about the float here from AIDS Healthcare Foundation? It shows the road that can be traveled from Skid Row to the paradise that is California. Bringing attention to homelessness, renovating and refurbishing older hotels, creating housing for 600 families. And you see the birds of paradise, the official flower of Los Angeles there. Beautiful. In the back part of it, the surfer, the Hollywood sign, the sun representing paradise and the hope for a fresh new world. And the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, they want to be the model for other organizations, including government, to help solve homelessness. Sage, coming up, we got a float that features a bunch of food on it.
Yes.
On a tractor. Are you ready to see that?
I think I know what it is.
Happy New Year. Can't wait. We'll see you after these messages.
Blah, blah, blah.
Why sacrifice good looks to drive a hybrid? The Honda Insight, with an EPA rating of 51 mpg City. Finally, a good-looking hybrid.
Wednesday, January 9th.
I'm throwing the wedding of the century.
It's 2 huge events.
What?
Starting with a Bevzilla wedding.
Why is there a middle-aged blonde lady between the bride and groom?
I think you know why, pal.
Then producers of the Goldbergs spin off into the 1990s-something comedy, School.
I'm the new music teacher.
You're wearing 2 different shoes.
Shut up, nerd. No, not nerd. Valued student.
An all-new Goldbergs and the premiere of School. Wednesday, January 9th on ABC.
Bobbitt's love hurts.
She came off as a sweet little girl. A sweet little innocent girl doesn't cut a man's penis off.
I got him.
She just... It's quite a story.
A 2020 event, Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Central California Food Bank serves 5 Central California counties. Each month, we're serving 280,000 people, of which 100,000 are kids. We believe that no one should go to bed hungry. Our vision is a hunger-free Central Valley. Together, we can end hunger right here in our community. And so we could not do this without the community's generosity. And we look for stakeholders like Tachi to help us support their immediate community. And we couldn't do this without them.
Extra, extra.
Happy New Year.
The world is waiting and watching.
For a Blake proposal, we kiss 2018 goodbye with breaking couples news. Josh Duhamel's new mystery woman, and Joe Jonas planning to outdo his brother's I-dos. Then, just days till his wife hunt begins.
I'm ready for it.
Bachelor Colton's checklist.
Fun, spontaneous, and crack a good joke.
And new crop of women, from the beauty queen to a sloth. Next Extra.
Today at 2 on 23 ABC.
Hi, I'm John Petrie, and we believe in Marley's Mutts and their mission to make Kern no-kill. That's why Motor City Buick GMC is a proud sponsor of their weekend segment right here on 23 ABC.
To meet this week's Pet of the Week, watch 23 ABC News Weekends.
The 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda on, frankly, a stunning day. New Year's Day 2019 here in Pasadena, California. The theme for today's parade, the melody of life. But really, once the designers and the organizers get the name, get the theme, that's when the real work begins for all of the float designers. Here's John Neighbor.
Sometimes it's easy to come up with an idea to demonstrate your product or service and also make it into a glorious float. But the challenge comes in how do you marry it with the theme of this year's parade? To answer that question, we invited Andrea to join us once again to address the part. What were the big challenges about trying to marry this float with the theme Melody of Life?
With all our vegetables and fruits here, they do harmonize together. They work well together, the colors work together. You can put tomatoes and onions and garlic and avocados and make a great salsa, but also they give us life. Food gives us life. So, it all works together. There's a melody of color, and it gives a melody of life, and it feeds us.
And one of the best things about this float is where else can I drive a 50-foot tractor?
See, that That wasn't real. They kicked him off, and they put the pro in charge. Take a look at this tractor. That's a big red tractor covered in chili flakes. That's a lot of chili flakes. When we walked by this in the barn, I felt something.
Oh, yeah.
There was some tingling, my eyes were watering, and it was worth it to see it up close. The ingredients used to build the float include lemons, corn, onions, rice, garlic, thyme, jalapenos, bell peppers, tomatoes, avocado, cilantro, and lime. Basically all the ingredients that my kids put on about 3 times a week. I'm a good mom when I take them to Chipotle, but this is phenomenal. Every ingredient Kevin will be used will be composted and donated to local farms in this area.
What you're hearing right now is the group, Portugal the Man, performing Feel It Still. As we continue the 130th Rose Parade, for more than a decade, the Green Band Association, the All Izumo Honor Green Band, they've been bringing different high school marching bands from Japan to the Rose Parade. This is the second time for the band from Izumo, which is made up of musicians from 6 high schools. The coastal city on the Sea of Japan, about 70 miles north of Hiroshima. Now, the Green Band's trip to the U.S. always includes a charity concert to raise funds for the victims of disasters. This year, it will be to support families of fallen firefighters in California.
The theme of this is Harmony's Garden, the name of the float. It's the Sierra Madre Rose Float Association. You see the detail, 26 feet long, 42 feet in length, 26 feet high, I should say. But this is really cool because it's another self-built float from nearby Sierra Madre, about 6 miles east of us here in Pasadena. It's the smallest city with a float and the parade. And look at that detail, the waterfall. By the way, that's one reason why they won the Director's Award, which is for the most outstanding artistic design and the use of floral and non-floral materials. But they've only got 11,000 residents. It is small. It doesn't have as large of a pool of float building volunteers, but you couldn't tell, could you? They've been doing this for 88 years, Kevin. They own this. They're proud of being here every year.
The Budweiser Clydesdale. See the dragonflies with moving wings. And the Koto player will be playing live going down Colorado Boulevard.
Now, this is the interesting part for some of these longer floats, too, is that turn. These two shouldn't have much of an issue. The 130th Rose Parade continues here in ABC as we also count down to the big game coming up 2 o'clock Pacific time.
In Chipotle's kitchen, you won't find any artificial ingredients, freezers, or microwaves. Because our kitchen's for, cooking. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real.
I can deduct this, right?
Excuse me, you stuck?
No, I'm not stuck.
Let's say you were. H&R Block Online has experts standing by.
So I can chat with them?
Yeah, but you're not stuck.
But if I was?
They can even see your screen to help you.
This screen?
Mm-hmm. They can even review your entire online return.
Wow, that's amazing.
High five. I don't think that's gonna work.
Expert help when you need it with H&R Block Online. In person or online, Block has your back.
I'm a drug mule for the cartel. Last trip I promised, so help me God.
Look out your window and smile.
You look lovely tonight.
The Mule. Rated R.
For decades, Men's Warehouse has been helping guys like the way they look. But what makes us so confident?
Maybe it's our expert stylists who know their designer brands almost as well as me.
Or their attention to every last detail. For a style and fit that's camera ready.
How's that for confidence? You're gonna like the way you look.
On a shocking season finale of Fansville.
National championship trophy's been stolen, and everyone's a suspect.
Who would steal the trophy?
You'd have to be a big fan.
You think I did it?
Which one of you took it?
You like your Dr. Pepper, don't you?
Yeah. Give me a name.
Julie, are you sure you didn't take it?
Are you wearing a wire? Are you wearing a wire?
Talk to my guy on the inside. He's your ticket, man.
Hello, Sheriff.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Exploring the heart of historic Europe with Viking, you'll get closer to iconic landmarks, to local life and legendary treasures as you sail on board our patented, award-winning Viking longships. You'll enjoy many extras, including Wi-Fi, cultural enrichment from ship to shore, and engaging excursions. Viking, voted #1 river cruise line by Condé Nast readers. Learn more at vikingcruises.com.
Just be you.
How you doing today?
I have a good feeling about you.
Okay, let's see what you got. Welcome back to the 130th Rose Parade presented by Honda. Sage Steele, Kevin Nagani with you. John Neighbor as well joining us on the broadcast. It's been fantastic. Over 90 minutes into this parade, and the sun is out. It's a beautiful Pasadena, California day as we celebrate 2019 and continue with the parade.
It's finally here. Kevin says he's working out more. I say I'm sleeping more. Maybe we'll meet somewhere in the middle. One of the things that stood out to me, again, we're rookies here, obviously the detail on every single float. The job that these judges have, frankly, is one that I would not want.
Yeah.
Because every single one is beautiful. Every single person that has volunteered has ownership of this. There's pride. They want to win. This next float,
oh, the detail?
Spectacular.
Yeah, and I want you to focus here. This is the Universal Pictures and DreamWorks animation. The eyes on the dragons. It's amazing. Split pea and gold split pea for those luminous eyes. They have a gift, the float makers, for making the difficult look effortless. Much the way that we see movie animators do as they get ready for the How to Train Your Dragon, the hidden world, and you see the waterfalls and the crystals, the luminous rocks transferred to flowers. Again, the details. The hobgobblers, they're on the side. You see
right
the
there.
Waterfall. Look
like
at
little
the eyes.
gremlins, kind of.
Yeah, and the eyes are orange lentil beans. As we get a close-up look, they're around this float. It just gives you an idea, the attention to detail by the volunteers and the hours of work, one by one, making sure they pull off a masterpiece, and they have the most outstanding display of showmanship and entertainment. That's the winner on this float. And you see in the back of the float, you'll see some fire coming down the street on Colorado Boulevard.
Yeah.
Well done.
By the way, the new movie opens in theaters February 22nd. We saw the previous ones. Phenomenal. Can't wait for this one. I don't care how old you are.
No.
Wait.
I cannot
There's the
wait.
fire.
There's
the
fire.
fire. See, how do they do that? I don't understand.
Waterfalls in the front, the fire in the back as it makes its turn down Colorado Boulevard. It's not a 90 degree. It's a little bit sharper. So great job by the drivers inside, going again at 2 miles per hour to make sure they follow that pink line that they have on the road, and they look down. That's how they move forward to get an idea of where they're going.
It's a 73-foot long float. obviously they're not trying to parallel park it. just getting around. The pink line is probably key to them. And again, they're down underneath. It's warm. It might be chilly out here, but it's warm.
2 hours going down 5.5 miles as we continue. The Calgary Stampede Show Band making their 4th appearance in this parade. All members of the band are between the ages of 16 and 21. This band will perform 3 times in California and more than 200 times during the rest of their season. Who just flew in. We're excited for Disney's Dumbo. Coming to theaters March 29th. Again, this is one of those, I don't care how old you are, Sage. I cannot wait. Yes, and I can't wait to take my 3 kids to that movie.
This one's special. Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Float. The theme, Garden Fresh. Mrs. Meyer herself is sitting on the front of the float. Hello, Thelma A. Meyer. She is a homemaker from Iowa, the mother of 9. She was determined to create natural cleaning products that smelled like they came from a garden. And boy, has she accomplished that. The mother of 9, the homemaker, who has created quite the empire. But it's a company that makes, again, all natural products. And they use flowers, plants, herbs, and its home and personal care lines. And so you gotta bring it here to the parade with a very fitting musical theme as well.
Perfect for Pasadena.
You see in the back the oversized watermelon, geraniums, radishes, lavender, honeysuckle. The beauty in that, the length with all the greenery there. And again, with many of these flowers, you can't cut them until 48 hours before maybe. And so the mad rush, a lot of these people, these volunteers, have not slept in 2 days because of the importance of keeping them fresh, keeping the colors brilliant, which means you cut them as late as humanly possible. You just don't sleep for 2 days. And every single one of them we talk to says it's worth it.
Sage, we're all from somewhere. I grew up in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, so when I saw this, I was pumped up. This is a town next to Phoenixville, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. The cavalcade of bands, honor band, musicians from 19 high schools in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and West Virginia. And they assembled for 2 practices last spring, a 3-day camp in August, 3 practices in November and December, all to get ready for the Rose Parade. Look at this beauty. The Chinese American Heritage Foundation, Harmony Through Union, 150 years celebration. Now, there's a standard narrative about Rose Parade float, Sage, about how work on the next parade begins days after the last one. Usually you start in March, to build a float? How about this? They started December 17th. Yeah, this is what the float looked like 2 weeks ago, 15 days ago.
We didn't believe this when we first saw the picture.
And the crew and the volunteers, they were working for 2 straight weeks, sleepless nights, making sure this came together as it celebrates the 150th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. How about that? The hard deadline to make sure, and the harmony through union you see right in between the hammer and the spike. 14,000 Chinese laborers were involved in the construction of the railroad, the most ambitious civic project of the age. And they delivered in
December
15 days.
17th. And by the way, it's 90 feet long. It is the longest float of this year's parade. So they set some records along the way, the length, including, I don't know if it's a record shortest time for production. It's gotta be.
And it's a credit to Tim Estes, Fiesta Floats, overseeing this project. I mean, we were there 2 days ago, and they had welders underneath.
It was nowhere close to this.
And now it's going back. Now they're just showing off. It's going backwards here as they try to make this turn. Again, 90 feet long.
Oh, no, thank you.
And the record for the longest float, but to give you some concept, is 274 feet by the 2014 Honda float. But trying to make this turn ambitious.
Oh.
We're having
He's going to make it. He's going to make that turn.
We're Modern Boating. I'm Jackson.
Coming back to wrap up the Free Roads after this.
Look forward, hit the gas, focus on the road before you. The redesigned Honda Civic with standard Honda sensing and a multi-angle rear view camera. It's fun, always.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, designing, returning, storing, crating. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping. Proud promotional sponsor of the 2019 Tournament of Roses.
Ordering takeout.
Finding the best route.
Talking for hours.
Planning for showers.
Checking the news.
Buying new shoes.
Burning some fat.
Sharing the latest viral cat.
Catching that replay.
Text night and day.
Do all the things you like to do with a wireless plan designed for you. Talk, text, and data for only $25 a month. Nationwide coverage, no contracts. Consumer Cellular, ranked #1 by J.D. Power. Call, go online, or visit any Target.
Go ahead and live your best life.
Maybe you could live it, we could go and get it, we could go and get it, we could go and get it. Maybe you could live it, we could go and get it, we could go and get it, we could go and get it. You could live the best life, best life, best life.
Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
You could live the best life, best life.
Just got this. Amazing. Triple points, all restaurants.
Triple points? How did Gary figure that one out? I don't even get double points. Is Gary smarter than me? He's definitely not more handsome. Or maybe he is. Triple points are pretty sexy. I hate you, Gary.
It's your boss.
Credit card envy? Go to comparecards.com where you can search and apply for credit cards based on the perks you like most. A better card is out there. Just compare cards.
Hey!
I'm happier than I've ever been. You have to live your life the way you want to.
If you think that you're doing this alone, you're wrong. We are here for you.
A Million Little Things moves to Thursdays after Grey's Anatomy, starting January 17th on ABC. The 2019 Rose Parade, presented by Honda on ABC, is brought to you by Honda.
Welcome back to Pasadena, Sage Steele, John Neighbor, Kevin Nagani, and we just raved about the Chinese American Heritage Foundation and their float because it was built in 15 days. And there's a reason why you start in March, or you start at least in the spring, because it takes some time. And this project taking just over 2 weeks, and they had some issues with a fire coming down the street.
The second we went to commercial break, remember, it started to back up, and we said, wait a minute, they're showing off. No, they were on fire. So now there's obviously it stopped, and they're trying to move it out of the way to allow the other floats, fans, to pass by. So we're near the end of the parade here.
And what we can tell you is, as of right now, no one was hurt. So they had enough time to get everybody out, and we saw the smoke, and they stopped it and moved it back there. And then as the parade will continue here, and let's bring in John. John, you're the man that has experienced this for 3 decades. Have you seen something like this happen before?
There are not many, there are a few instances where floats have had mechanical problems and needed to be towed down the street. This float is peculiar in that it's a double unit, so long that they might have a hard time turning the corner because it's more than a 90-degree left-hand turn. So I think they made the choice. They had some engine problems, and they said rather than get stuck on the corner, let's just go ahead and pull aside and let the closing act take place. It's a brave move. I still say that what Fiesta Floats adapted in 2 weeks is remarkable. It's almost miraculous, and it's a live show, and it's a live event.
One thing we want to point out, the requirements for safety are huge for every single float. They were off that float in seconds. No issues there.
None.
And you're hearing right now the Lincoln Way Marching Band going past the float. And these students from New Lenox, Illinois, from 3 Lincoln Way high schools across 105 square miles in the southern suburbs of Chicago. Loud roar from, of course, everybody sitting, the spectators celebrating. They're the last of the big marching bands that make the trek down Colorado Boulevard this morning, filled with adrenaline. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Once again, we've been bragging about our new best friend, John Neighbor. Thank you so much for everything. Your perspective, your context on everything is like none other. What stands out to you the most from today's event?
Boy, a lot to talk about. The disappointing MacGyver water jet. It hurts my feelings a little bit, but I love the Dole Underwater Paradise. I love the Stella Rosa Gypsy Face. It was beautiful. I think they'll be talking about the breakdown at the very end, but I just love the whole theme of music. Very appropriate. Joe Freeney made a good choice, and I have to close with the words that I've been dying to say all day. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan.
She's the Grand Marshal here, the 130th Tournament of Roses Parade here. And when we first talked to you, it's drinking the Kool-Aid of Pasadena. And we've had leaders of Kool-Aid here, and we are all about it. We understand what this means nationally. What does it mean to the locals here in Pasadena to have this parade here for 130 years?
It's an open house party. We're very proud of our city. We're delighted to welcome visitors. It began by people from the Midwest coming to California and thumbing their noses at their friends about the weather. But now it's so much more than that. We want to show off what's good and right in America, and all those young kids marching and the horses looking so good. And the floats, of course, giving us an opportunity to draw a crowd to say, welcome to the new year. Happy New Year, one and all.
And the patriotism, the volunteerism as well. By the way, let's take another look down on the street, because this is what they're doing. Again, they've brought tow trucks in to try to get that massive 73-foot-long float out of the way. Again, there was some smoke, there was some fire, nobody hurt, but how do they do this? How long is this going to take?
It's the biggest and the heaviest of the floats. They need the biggest and the heaviest of the tow trucks. And they have tow trucks on every intersection along the entire 5-mile parade, just in case this happens. But the big mama, the big daddy, the tow trucks had to get in here. And it's a horrible shame, but as you said, nobody's hurt. And I think that we'll see that float again.
By the way, when you spoke about Pasadena and the weather. 130 parades. Never once has one been canceled because of weather or war. Fortunately, you've only had, 10 parades ever that have had bad inclement weather, meaning rain, moisture?
They say that if January 1st falls on a Sunday, we hold the parade on January 2nd. We don't mess with God's day. He doesn't mess with ours.
And the last time it rained, 2006. So, again, it was a little bit chilly in the morning, 42 degrees. The most important thing, though, the sun is out, the spirits are up, because the experience of celebrating the Rose Parade here in Pasadena.
By the way, I want to ask real quick, the Sweepstakes Award, Kevin, you and I had heard about that all week long. That is the biggest award, design, beauty, and it went to UPS. Surprise in your mind or no?
Well, it was only a surprise because when we saw it, it was not fully erect. It's the tallest of the floats, and its grandeur was missing to us in the float barn because they were still assembling it. So that's our excuse for missing it.
And if you're wondering why it wasn't fully erect, because the barns aren't big enough to hold it, and this was going over 30 feet. So that's why it was down.
Feet, right? And then again, to get through the parade route and even to be transported here, it can't be taller than 17 feet. So again, we mentioned that earlier in case you missed it. Almost every one of these floats, certainly ones that are higher than 17 feet, are collapsible, which is insane. Insane.
And the great thing about the Sweepstakes Award, we had to guess. We mentioned like 5 or 6 other floats. That gives you the high standard that we've seen here during the street.
So then now what? So then you take a couple of days off and prepare for 2020? I mean, literally, when does the planning begin for most of these companies?
Well, I'm sure that the raising the funds begins immediately. The planning is launched when the theme is announced, because you have to match the float to the theme.
So that's usually?
I'd say a couple of months.
Okay.
And the progression, Gerald Freeney's successor will be announced shortly, and it's just a very smooth operation. But I know the float builders are already putting together their strategic plan and their engineering plan.
And if you're wondering and you're watching, we see over 900 volunteers walking around in those white suits, the red ties, with big smiles as we celebrate.
Is this Ohio State up here?
No, this is a rose.
This is a rose. Roses. I just want you all to know.
This is a rose, absolutely.
We have got to give special thanks to so many people. The parade, the Rose Parade team, David Eads, Amy Cole, Jim Champa, Michael Soul, and Jacqueline Clifford. How about our team, guys, at ABC? Our producer, Jack Graham, our director, Ty Fries, and our entire ABC crew has been absolutely spectacular. Kevin, one memory you take with us, rookie year is what?
The volunteers and how they pass it on generation to generation for this, and the details they put in and the hours of work.
The absolute enthusiasm and love for this. Love for your city, John Neighbor. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you all for welcoming us into your homes on New Year's Day 2019. Enjoy the game tonight. This was the 130th Rose Parade on ABC. See you next year.